think we're ready to start.
I guess I can. I don't know.
Minutes for February 18th.
Call to order.
Chad's got it.
Yeah, I tried. Nobody would listen. Yes.
At 6.
I move to approve the minutes of February 18, 2013.
Second.
There is one error. Mr. Dana pointed out. There's probably more than one. On the second page, verb tense, top paragraph. 8 lines down, something like that. Not change that.
Which
Spells
part?
the meeting as corrected.
Where is it?
It is the sentence that not being created. Return of oil samples sent in for analysis are not returned in time of fashion, or not being received in time of fashion. Something like that.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, and not timely.
Something different.
Has everybody had a chance to read them? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Additions and deletions to the agenda.
Do you want to handle the response to the agency of transportation budget under Highway Foreman's Commissioner's report, or would you like to do it under
Oh,
new business?
no, doing it there is fine.
I don't have the agenda.
I am going to want a short executive session, shouldn't take very long, on personnel matters.
Can we also put timber cutting back under old business?
What about that?
Timber cutting?
Never got it. Okay.
Just good. See where we're at.
Anything else?
There is some correspondence. I think I'll just list it and it needs to be passed around, or for the most part, when we get there. There are a couple fleet permits to sign. There's a liquor license application.
Oh, okay, you're right, we don't need to write all those down. Okay, warrants.
I move that we approve warrant number 03045, payroll taxes in amount of $3,614.07.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
I would move that we approve warrant number 03044, Townshend payroll in amount of $9,963.32.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I just get that number again? 9,000?
$9,963.32.
Any opposed?
I think I sustained for that. I don't think I did.
Yeah, you can abstain.
And Chad is abstaining from that one? Okay.
Warrant number 03043, the Town Equipment Fund, in amount of $2,889.96.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions?
And warrant number 03042, Highway Fund, $4,067.69.
Second it.
Discussion? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
We got one more.
Warrant number 03041, Town General Fund, in amount of $10,952.17.
Second it.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Aye.
So does that take care of the warrants?
It does.
Yes.
Okay, in that case, we're up to the highway report.
Highway report. First off, we've got correspondence on from the Agency of Transportation on the certificate of highway mileage. So they have a couple of issues that they need clarification.
Just write back and say, so do we.
Well,
Did
yeah.
we get a copy of that, or is that?
I have a copy here. I gave one to Chad, and I gave one to David, and I gave one to Kim, just so we could work it.
The issues are on a survey from Old Acton Road, the new highways. They need a copy of that 1991 survey map 178. More information as to Favreau's Corner, if it applies only to Town Highway 51 or both Town Highway 50 and 51. I think it applies to both of them. And then Bush Way. So a copy of that discontinuance needs to be applied to them as well. Needs to be sent to them. So we can work with Kim and Kurt to make sure that all of this is sent to Sarah Moulton, the mapping and GIS specialist. The Vermont, let's see. I had a meeting on Wednesday with the Vermont Department of Environmental Conservation. It went fairly well. There's some minor things that were pointed out, mainly to do with places where the Vermont Occupational Safety will get us. So there's some small changes that we need to make, nothing major. John Daly is going to be writing up a report, and he's going to be sending us some paperwork for our spill prevention and countermeasures plan. The biggest thing is that any fuel, hydraulic spills, oil spills, petroleum product spills, antifreeze, under 2 gallons we can pick up ourselves. Anything over 2 gallons we're going to have to report. So we're going to have to be able to annually go through this spill prevention and countermeasures plan with everybody who uses the facility. So the highway department will have to annually go through it. The fire department will have to annually go through it with them. And if we start using Rescue Inc., allowing Rescue Inc. to purchase fuel from us, we'll have to go through that with him as well.
Do they give like a little clinic, a little class that we all?
Yeah. And he basically, that's why the meeting was 3 hours. I'd only budgeted an hour for it, but it was 3 hours. You know, we went through it. So he's going to send me some templates, and we'll start writing it up. You know.
Was he called or?
Yes.
I had them at the old shop when I first came here. That's when we started to get the rag serviced and the speedy drive, like, you know, doing things different and labeling all the barrels and using antifreeze and And that's the last time I ever saw him. He never came back again.
Right, and he was extremely pleased with everything. But it's just that we've got to get the spill prevention up and running. So, the fuel tanks we have, he really likes the fuel tanks, and I don't know who to blame the credit on, whether it's Kurt that gets the credit or the Kurt and the committee, the town barn committee, but the fuel tanks are in good shape. He likes the setup, so there's no problems there. It's like I said, it's just some nagging stuff and that spill prevention and countermeasures plan. So
I think I know he told me all that stuff to do, if we're going to build a new garage, to do that with the tool tank. So that was all his idea.
well, pat yourself on the back for following through on it. So, Representative, there's, as everybody saw, VLCT sent through an alert on the Agency of Transportation budget, and I was asked to draft a small letter to be sent to our representatives, and there's a draft copy in front of you addressed to Representative Richard Merrick. If anybody sees another wording that you would like,
My only comment on that letter is I don't think that it's strong enough. Much, you know, I get a little upset sometimes. Richard Merrick is supposed to represent the town.
okay.
It's very difficult to get a hold of him. And it's more difficult than that to even get an answer from him, because I talk to him. He comes into the auction once in a while on Friday, and I talk to him about issues, and it just doesn't seem to get anywhere. I think that this whole Agency of Transportation, that's a detrimental thing to this town. It's very strong.
Well,
And while I understand that the governor's coming to town meeting tomorrow, maybe it's an opportunity for us to at least address this issue with the governor and seeing if there's something stronger that we can do. I just don't feel that I can depend on our representative to support us in this whole issue.
all right. The agency is looking at reducing the town bridge grants and reducing the town highway public assistance grants. And so that's specifically what this was written to address, as well as making sure that they're aware that we use the Class 2 roadway paving assistance in the Vermont local roads programs, because all of those are key to our road maintenance at this point. But I can put in some stronger language.
Should we be sending it to more than just him, or?
And I was going to plan to send it to also Peter Galbraith and to Jeanette White,
Good.
our two senators.
Yes, good.
This little bit right here confuses me a little bit. I don't know how else you would say it, but we
I
are
would-
writing you to request you fund the. I don't know.
All right, I'll look at, what I can do is I can pull wording out of the VLCT. Because they're requesting that we contact our House members immediately and tell them to oppose the proposal put forth by VTrans and instead use the proposal from the government.
When is this taking place? Do we need to do this
Vote
tonight?
should be coming up anytime.
The vote
It
should
won't
be
probably
coming up.
It probably won't be this week, but it should be there.
Yeah, they're closed this week.
Right.
Too bad Irene didn't take more
So
bridges.
it's,
But do we need to get this signed tonight?
We don't need to get it signed, all you have to do is approve it, and I will
Yeah.
Yeah, write it stronger.
write it stronger
Yeah.
and
May have to use some
get copies sent out.
big boy language in there.
That you oppose, just like you just said, I mean, you oppose the Vermont Agency of Transportation's proposed cuts.
All right.
I mean, sure, there's places they can cut, but why they always want to cut?
We're writing to urge and if not direct him of our desire to have him oppose Vermont Agency of Transportation proposed cuts and to support the governor's proposal.
Okay. I'll put that in there. One thing that,
I think it's the legislature that's doing the cuts, it's not AOT.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because I'm
Yeah.
not sure just,
Yeah.
one thing that we all have to be aware of is a large portion of AOT's funding for some of these programs is federal. And I haven't been able to, frankly, I apologize, I haven't had a chance to go through the draft proposal on the federal sequester to see what is being cut.
but I
But
think
if it's 20%, that's going to have an impact on our highway.
I think you're right.
Okay, but at this point, that's their problem.
Well, at this point, that is their problem, so I will reword this, but
And I think that you'll find that it's the legislature that's proposing the cuts, not AOT.
AOT came forward with
With a proposal.
a proposal, just like the governor came forward with a proposal.
Okay.
And this is asking the legislature to lean more toward the governor's proposed budget for the Agency of Transportation than to the proposed
Not to
budget.
lean, but to support.
AOT requested new revenues. And AOT requested a higher budget, as I recollect.
And the legislature's proposing to cut it,
And the
right?
legislation, well, that floated like a trial balloon, and they got a lot of flack on that because it involved a lot of taxes that people don't want to see come through. And the fact that a 12-cent gas tax is possibly or probably going to go through is bad enough. But because of the flack they got from the increased budget proposals, they worked it back, took a look at reality, and the legislature's come up with some cuts.
But
And that's what the legislature's proposing. is some cuts.
and the Agency of Transportation came up with, to get their funding through, they came up with $1 million worth of cuts, mainly in town highway programs. So,
But that also affects matching grants from the federal.
I will make this stronger and get a copy out to everybody.
David, thank you.
No problem.
T2.
T2 has arrived. The truck is in the building. I'm gonna wash it up, let it dry, and got the fluid film and the guns and everything. It finally did come, and we're gonna dose it good underneath and in the cracks and crevices before it gets, so we can protect it right off the bat. Everything looks good on it. All the paperwork's at the shop. So
Okay.
I got now. Do you want copies of the electronic PTO, of the pump, of everything, or just of what?
Any of the paperwork that was signed encumbering funds on that vehicle,
Okay. So just the receipts,
you know, well, the receipts, but any of the paperwork that,
like the warranty and whatnot.
any of the warranty information. So basically, if you brought it up when the town clerk's office is open, everything but the owner's manual, then we'll have a copy of it. And
And that is, yeah, we don't need body manuals and stuff.
we don't need the body manual and the,
I'll bring that in Friday.
okay.
Wyndham Regional Planning Commission called me up. They want to know if I can host a road foreman's workshop. They want to do a workshop this month at the garage. It's usually a half-day thing. I try to go to them, but usually I don't, because something's always wrong. But yeah, we can host it if you guys don't mind.
Sure, what's this one's gonna
I don't know. Matt left a message on the answer machine, and
Okay.
I gotta get back.
This Saturday?
Huh?
This coming Saturday?
No, this month, I said.
Oh, this month.
The end of the month, yeah. A gentleman named Bob, I couldn't quite get his last name, called from the phone company. He wants to meet with me probably at the end of this week or early next week on the East Hill project. He wants to try and figure out what they're gonna do to keep that line live and to get their stuff out of the way. He doesn't know if they can put a bypass through the woods. He needs to put a ground line because people usually mess with that. Or through the trees. We'll try and figure something out. He's bringing an engineer with him for that.
All right, because
But they are gonna keep that telephone running the whole time that project is going.
Okay, so then the plan that we had put in to remove the poles and reset the poles is still viable?
It's still
Okay.
So, and I did call the sweepers, BDM sweepers out of Keene. They've been doing our sweeping for years. Beginning of May, he wants to get together with Newfane. They've been doing their sweeping and just collaborate the two and have the trucks up here at the same time instead of driving those little trucks up here to do different situations. I did talk to Todd Beneath about the bridge over 35 that's being worked on. He's well aware of it. Everything is in the permit. I'm working this time of year, crossing the brook a few times to move concrete blocks. Setting blocks, everything can be done right now. There should be a permit in the gentleman's machine at all times on the site if we want to stop and look at it, but he knows all about
Okay.
it. Okay? And I did send in our little structures repairs thing that we did last year on the bridges in town. I sent that into Steve Ellington at AOT so he can put it on this year's or last year's report.
Great.
And other than that, everything's working right now. All the wheels are turning. And
Where's T7? You can put that in cold storage? Or?
I will. I gotta wash it off and get it all cleaned up and everything. And put it in cold storage. It's inside right now
Okay.
by the workbench.
Are we gonna talk about what we're gonna do with that?
Yeah, let's.
We want to get the Townshend off the doors on this one.
Get the tons off the doors. I would sell it as is.
Yeah.
Just before we get in back to the bridge grants, have we got everything we need to get in to those guys, or when is that stuff gonna be in?
Yeah, it has to be in like May 28th or
Okay.
something like that. I have plenty of time for that.
Yep. Now go back to T7.
Yeah, what are we gonna do with it?
Take bids, or yeah.
Take bids or put it for sale.
sale sign on it.
Can we just put it for sale? As is?
Auction house, auction.
Tomorrow you want to drop off?
Is that what he said?
I can do it after town meeting. I don't mind.
I think it ought to go as one lump sum, everything. Dress it right up with the sander and the plow. And, I mean, do we have to spend money in advertising for bids, or can we just put a for sale sign on?
We do need to get the radio out of it.
I called radio repair. The girl's going to come and switch radios out.
Uh,
Yeah. And I probably should think of that right now. I probably should call Michael Stats too, so he can paint the doors. If you guys are all right with that, right?
do you want to go with painted doors, or should we think about going with magnetic signs for the doors?
We had magnetic signs on the grader and stuff, and it ruins the paint. It really does. It makes a big mark
Just
on
asking
the
the
door.
question.
Because every small aggregate's going to get behind that magnet, and plowing, and sanding, and raking.
If we want to get rid of it in 3 years, and, I mean, it's not a real big expense to have it painted. It looks a little more professional or whatever.
Whenever he comes up to paint it, I'd like to have the number painted on the back end of it.
I like to put the stickers.
But, you know, if we could have him put,
Sure.
so,
Yeah, I can do that. So what do you want to do with T7?
Just put it out to bid until our next meeting.
that sounds good. Let's put it out to
We have
bid.
to stop around with people offering this and that.
Yeah,
You can put
I
it
don't know,
on
what did
top.
you do with the last one? How'd you?
We auctioned it. Right here at the table. Ask Joe about it.
that was the fire truck.
But yeah.
The other one,
Oh,
the other
that's
one we
right.
traded into Stewart and Son. They bought it through Stewart and Son. Was it stored in something?
I mean, I don't know what the value of the thing is, but I'd be happy to sell it down there, advertise it and sell it. I mean, there's no-
Will you?
Sure.
Well, it's fine.
But as long as you're just gonna take what it brings.
I think
Put a
that's,
reserve on
The
it.
way it is.
I think
You
that
can
would be,
always
yeah,
I don't know, if you want.
but I think we take what it brings, wouldn't you?
You get a bid, take it.
You know,
Well,
well, reasonable.
I mean,
the sander works, the plow works,
Yeah, there's a lot of parts on it.
tires are good.
Well,
They're ready to
it
go.
can be fixed.
It can't, yeah, I mean, it isn't,
Engine starts cold.
And it starts with
That, I mean, I'd be happy to do that for you if you wanna just do it and have it gone.
Would you like a motion to that effect?
You gotta have a clear title and
which we do, I'm sure.
We
We wanna put a motion out?
Probably get a hold of you tomorrow or something, because your time is gonna be of essence here. You don't wanna sit around for a few months.
No.
It's a 2-week turnaround anyhow. By
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time I get in,
yeah.
get a picture.
The only issue is getting the radio out of it before it goes.
Yeah, the antenna staying in there, that's kind of,
Yeah,
that stays there, it's sealed, so.
yeah, that's sealed, just getting the antenna, the radio out
Well,
of
how do
I mean,
you,
obviously, I think we should have a bottom line monetary value. We don't want to just give it away.
what do
The
you,
sander and the plow, it is, they are worth something.
Right.
30,
Well, the truck's
3,500?
worth something. I mean, I don't know.
3,500?
I'm not gonna mention
I
the
wouldn't,
number
I
on
wouldn't say
TV.
anything,
Yeah,
but
so-
I think we should, as long as we get a number, right?
As long as Kit has a number. Then I move that we auction the vehicle known as T7 at the Townshend Auction Gallery. As long as the radio is out of it before it's sold and the door
Townsend's off the door.
decals are off the door.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I never use it.
Aye.
Any opposed?
That's
I'll abstain.
that's just on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're gonna take your normal cut, your normal percentage for, okay.
David, I'm not sure why we don't want to say what the reserve price is. I mean,
I don't think you should.
I don't
No.
think you should.
okay.
What do you think, Ken?
No, well, I think that, at least right now, I want to look it over and talk it over with you guys and with Kurt, because I think that it needs to be, I don't want to drag it down there and not think that I'm going to be able to sell it and then drag it back.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when we look it over, and if I'm up there and I look it over and I think that we can sell it in a viable and make it worthwhile, then fine, let's do it. But if we go up there tomorrow or whenever we decide to meet and look it over, and I think that you're gonna want more money and I ain't gonna be able to do that, we'll come
Can't-
back and do something different.
You're gonna be busy tomorrow.
I am?
Yeah.
Why is that?
With you, looking at the truck.
Looking in the truck.
No.
Oh,
Be about 9 to
whenever, you know.
Sure.
5:30.
What do you want it up for?
Anything else? In the highway?
No, that's all I have.
Okay. Moving on then. We don't seem to, well, under law enforcement, do we have things like badges and keys back?
Law enforcement, I was actually going to handle that under emergency management, but yes, we do have an emergency management radio back. We have a badge back. We have 2 license plates, 2 codes. All of the,
Does one of them say in sale?
no,
Okay. Go ahead.
no, because there were 2 constable codes that were ordered.
Oh,
We also have a radio and pager for the fire department. And the other item, I'll talk to the fire department about. So we've received everything else. He had no keys. He signed for no keys. And
Okay.
he has a copy of one of the asset agreement forms where I signed for everything from him. And I'll make sure that there are blank forms set up so that the constable, first constable and second constable can sign for this equipment tomorrow.
Great. Good work.
You know, it only took 6 weeks, so.
One item a week.
Yeah. The second constable never did get his coat or one.
Well,
He's got both.
he'll get one tomorrow.
Okay, we've all had a chance to look at the town clerk's financial report. Bookkeeper, treasurer.
Thank you.
See ya.
All right, I left it pretty simple and open for tonight. We do have the balance of the bill for ACE bill to think about at some point.
Wait a minute, would you say that again?
The bill for ACE balance for the boiler that we have to think about. Jeff did go over.
Balance paying, you mean the
We
what?
still owe him some
Our
money.
withholding?
Yeah,
Yes.
I just think, if you want to speak to that first, as long as you're,
yeah.
I understand that there were some problems with that boiler yet this week,
And that's
Yeah,
Friday.
last
It
Friday.
went out.
Friday before.
Yeah, that's right.
So I just think that we should hold that to make sure that this boiler is going to be satisfactory, because it
Yeah.
seems that it hasn't been for, there's still some
Well,
quote unquote hiccups going
Yeah.
on with it.
and they're all, so far they've all been, they're normal,
Normal hiccups.
normal to firing up
Yeah.
a new system. This last one was the low water cutoff, got coated with flux and stuff from the new.
Okay.
So it's got to go through its
What it's got to go
break-in
through.
period. So it's nothing out of the ordinary as of yet.
All right, well, and I've kept copies of some other small incidentals. Jeff went over the WW bills, and, you know, there are some things that we want to charge back to him that he charged
Yeah.
at WW, and
Did
Did you talk to him?
to talk about,
I haven't.
you know, Pyrofax
Talk to
came and
us.
did some work, and, you know, whether or not that's going to come out of his or going to be on top of that or whatever. So we'll keep that on the
Yeah, that-
old business to look at some point. Joe had a busy day on Friday for tax day. Taxes are still coming in, I think, pretty well.
Did today.
Yeah, still coming in today. So, and that was really it. Did I keep it simple for tonight? The only other thing, I guess, was if there was anything about the numbers for tomorrow that anybody wanted me to have more clarification about, or be ready to answer, or anything of that sort that we didn't address last Monday. Everybody ready for tomorrow?
Not that we know of.
Okay.
You know, somebody's gonna surprise you with something.
Tomorrow?
Questions?
So we can deal with that.
But under that heading, does anybody think that the boiler and furnace cost comparison is something we ought to have there? I think you all saw it from the pre-town meeting.
Yeah. Maybe if it's passed.
Kid, did you see
Well,
it?
yeah, I did see it. I just,
Okay.
if the figures are there, that's fine. If the issue comes up, I mean, I think it's certainly comparable, and it's, you know,
I
we
wouldn't,
think we did the right.
Yeah,
I wouldn't promote the subject.
No, but we did the right
If it comes
thing.
up, I think.
Yeah.
okay. Kim, did you have anything else?
Nope, that was gonna be it.
Joe? Emergency management.
I have nothing at this point.
Members of the public. We have none of those. Okay.
Even
Craig.
Cynthia ain't here tonight.
Get ready for tomorrow.
Resting up for
Resting
tomorrow.
up for tomorrow.
Cynthia and Jan, they're having their own meeting.
Oh, there. The old
We're up to the correspondence.
phone lines are humming. Suppose they have it on Facebook? I'm gonna look now.
We have 4 items in 2 categories. We got 2 fleet. One from Lindwell going and one
Who
from
opened my
David
mail in
Taylor.
one of those?
Just,
That one's open too.
potential permit.
Look at that.
They run their trucks in town.
Mine is open too.
Craig,
What are you doing opening my mail?
checking for powder residue or something?
Yeah, does that.
David,
Yeah.
would you make a motion about these two? I'm the only one who has to sign them, but
Yes.
Access rate permits.
Okay, we have 2 fleet approvals. I move that we approve Linda Well Drilling Incorporated out of Guilford, Vermont to run vehicles over local highways and bridges with gross weights up to 74,000 pounds as under VSA Title 23, Section 1400A.
Dates?
It would be for, this approval shall be in effect for no more than a 1-year period ending March 31, and I would say this should be
2014.
2014.
Okay. Can we have a second?
Hold on a second.
No, you can second it, and then we can discuss.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Okay.
I just wondered, I know those are pretty, just routine,
Yeah.
but I was hoping in there, it talks about when we post roads for mud.
We don't post them.
We don't.
We don't. However, we can say that they, whether we restrict them or allow them for the following highways. So are there any highways that you think they should be
I
restricted
don't
from?
know, that would be Kurt's,
Yeah.
that would be in Kurt's domain.
And we haven't before, since I've been on board.
No, but I know that we're currently having some bridge difficulties and concerns over bridges and weights and that sort of thing, and I'm not sure what that weight is on that, but I want to be careful not to.
We could put a note in there, West Hill,
You want to restrict them?
contact the road foreman or something.
All right.
That's where our bridge problems are.
If you draft, excuse me, if you draft a note, I'll print it, because we're gonna get a flurry of these. And I'll
Yeah.
just attach it to when we send
Okay.
it back.
Or just, even if you check with Kurt, just to make sure that these are gonna be okay.
Okay.
Because I don't wanna, personally, I don't think that we ought to approve them and then have the bridge go in and then have them come back
Right.
on us. Because when we approve that, we say those roads are gonna be okay for
Those
that
roads are
way.
going to be okay. All right, then what I want to do is I'm going to withdraw my motion, and I'd like to hold these until the next meeting of the select board so that we
You know,
can
maybe
have
we
this discussion
we
with the,
Draft maybe a date for mud season to contact, if they're gonna be, and then definitely West Hill.
and then definitely West Hill.
And ask him about any
The old
other
ones are
bridges,
good
I
until
just,
March 31st, so.
Right,
Check, you withdraw a second.
Sure.
Motion.
all right. So I will get,
because I believe that when we approve them, we say the roads are gonna be okay.
At least one of them,
If they're
Yeah.
not,
We can, maybe Thursday morning, we can talk to her about.
Thursday
dates and
morning, we can talk
Maybe
about
there's
that.
another road that we should add.
exactly. Okay.
If we tell them you can't go there, and go through the bridge, and, yeah, maybe we can get a bridge road there.
Commercial liquor.
Well, maybe Thursday, it might not be for me.
Oh, for the smoke shop.
What's
for
that?
the smoke shop.
Huh?
What's that?
David will be
Okay.
definitely done.
I'll be there, but yeah, we can definitely discuss it. I move that we approve a 2013 tobacco license renewal application for Lawrence's Smoke Shop and Country Store.
I'll second it.
Okay, I've got,
What kind of tobacco are they selling there?
Kit, is this the fancy cigars? You've never sold tobacco out of there before.
Tobacco and liquor licenses usually go hand in hand with that, how that works.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's a separate license for
Yeah, I know it.
the wine,
I
but,
do them both.
okay.
It's a smoke shop.
But they don't sell.
Oh, listen, I was in there one day when a guy
We
was,
don't, yeah, I was
Really?
very upset because we didn't sell tobacco.
You better start.
Cuban cigars or something, I don't know.
okay, all in favor of signing these?
Sorry, who's second? Chad second.
Chad seconded.
Oh, that was just the one.
That was just the
That's just
one.
one.
That was just tobacco.
Did you call a vote, Katie?
Yes, you did.
Is there an abstention?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
And I further move to approve the 2013 liquor license renewal application for Lawrence's Smoke Shop and Country Store.
I'll second it.
Any discussion about that? All in favor?
Aye.
I will abstain.
No, signed in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Sign it.
Yep.
Do it every day, every time.
You guys could be partners.
Huh?
There's individual partners.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be a partner.
But darn it, you know.
Let me see that one.
All right.
I didn't see that, no, I read.
Well, I got one.
No, not.
Do it right now.
Not bad, everybody.
Richard. You hearing something?
Did you have any other correspondence, Craig?
I do not. Do not.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Old business. Did you get hold of Becca after my last email?
I left a message a little after 4 o'clock saying that she was more than welcome, but there was still some discussion to be done by board members.
Right,
It might not be, she still may come at 7, but it might not be that long.
Okay, well, let me tell everybody that I spoke with Richard Coutant today. He was not done reviewing it. He was finding what he had seen as pretty standard. And I don't know whether we want to have a meeting with him or how we want to deal with this. I mean, it seems like people have enough questions that we shouldn't just get a note from him saying, do or don't sign. What do people think?
Well, for me, my issue remains the same. Of course, we haven't talked to him, heard what he said, but I think it goes beyond this seems to be pretty standard.
Well, that's
Because
why...
I think in today's world, we're not dealing in standard financial situations. If you listen to anything about what's happening, and not just in the state level, talking about highways and pulling back this money and that money and not going to fund this, but also in the federal level, and it just keeps flying away. In that contract, I have not found anything that protects the town of Townsend, protects everybody but the town of Townsend.
Oh, okay.
That
So
sounds like you want-
I think we
question
probably need to
Need a
have a
meeting.
meeting with Richard and/or with Richard and Valley Cares and all of us together at the table. I mean, whether you want to make that at the next board meeting, which is fine with me, however you want to do it. Doesn't matter to me.
I think we've got to find out from Becca whether we're,
That would be the 18th.
yeah. That's pushing them a little, but
Well,
if that's what we have to, that's what we have to.
And I agree with Mr. Martin that us being 7th on the list, and without having the same clause that the state has, that if the state receives less money from the federal government, they are not, it's not incumbent upon them to provide that money in that agreement. They can provide the amount the state is, the federal government is providing. I think we need that same clause in there protecting the town. And I know it's difficult on Valley Cares, however, I have to look out for the town at this point.
I would suggest that I try to just set up the meeting with Richard. I think if we invite Valley Cares to that
Gets into
meeting,
it.
they will feel like they need to bring their attorney, and it's going to be a whole different meeting than
Yep.
our just getting our questions answered.
Sure.
Anybody feel differently about that?
Sounds good.
Okay,
I-
too bad. Well, let's hear it.
I'm just thinking that my question would be, does the attorney know what the concerns are? If he does know what the board's concerns are, then the question seems to me fairly simple. Can you propose language to add into that contract whereby you get the town guarantees and protections that you're looking for? Which is a simple question for him to answer, yes or no. You can add language, you can amend this contract, or put an amendment, addendum, whatever you want to call it, to. My feeling is that if the attorney comes in, you're going to go through the same thing you've been through twice with Valley Cares, and that is articulating your concerns to the attorney. And I still think that the bottom line question is can you draft, or can he draft, an addendum to this contract, which provides those protections, which can be forwarded to their attorney for review, and then you've got a negotiating position. You've got your cards on the table, they've got their cards on the table, then you've got, I just think that if you set up, I think if you set up a meeting for 3 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, you can spend 2 hours spinning wheels that you've already spun.
You've already talked to Richard, right? And
I
told him
have
what our
already talked
concerns
to
are
him,
and-
but I did not ask him specifically whether he could write up something that we could try to,
No, but you told him what our concerns
Yeah.
are, right? I mean,
Yeah.
That we're just concerned that the town, there's no language in there that protects the town. And rather than him just looking at it and saying it seems pretty standard, he should be looking for something
yeah.
in there that protects the town.
well,
Which if it
that's,
isn't there, then needs to be, well,
It needs
from
to
the
be.
board's point of view, it needs to be added. Now, whether that's acceptable from the contract law point of view or not, I don't know, I'm not an attorney. But it seems to me that if it can be added, then you add it in the form of an addendum that is signed by all parties. And of course, that has to be negotiated, but,
well, let me talk to him on Wednesday, and
I'm just trying to spare you guys from having a meeting,
Yeah.
and running up a bill.
Thank you.
To review what you've already done.
thank you. Okay. Ancient roads, that would be me. I have here the orders of discontinuance for the portion of Schoolhouse Road and the portion of Riverdale Road. And it seems like we could get those signed and out of the way before we have a new board here. So I don't know if you want to make a I don't think we need a motion to sign the order when we have already,
The motion has already been.
yeah, I mean, this
for
is just,
discontinuance, so this is just a formality,
yeah,
I think.
I agree.
okay. Anybody want to talk about it before we sign them? David, you want to start? Second page.
Second page.
Yeah, this is
You're gonna
school-
specify.
This is for the schoolhouse extension, so-called, and for Riverdale, both discontinued.
Oh, I guess I could sign them too.
You probably should sign it.
I probably should, so get that one back from Jeff when he's done. Please. Craig, will you,
Yes, pull all these and get them in. There's a, is that, I'm sorry, I'm
yes,
finishing or something.
do all that, but also make sure that copies get sent to the abutting property owners
Yes.
so that when we raise their property tax, they'll know why.
Back when, in this round of looking at ancient roads, you also did Schoolhouse Way, or I'm sorry, you also did Phoenix Way, which has subsequently changed. The board will have to change its
Right.
thoughts on that at some time, or confirm exactly what those thoughts are.
Well, that one's still sort of hanging, waiting for Mark Face to,
He never responded back to my email.
All right, I'm just saying, that one is still in that
Send it.
previous group, but this
Okay.
finishes up most of them.
yeah, well, there are a number more that I still need to research, and then there's the other half that we haven't even touched yet. But this gets two more off. David, I'm wondering whether we should have a map, sort of like the ancient roads map, except with no colored anything on it, where we can just draw in what additions for those fourth-class roads, basically draw in what we're doing.
Sure. Would you want one like that road atlas? Do you want it up tomorrow? Or do you
No.
want it? Okay, yes, we can do that.
Great. I mean, it seems like that's what we ought to be doing, so that
Sure.
at some point we've got something we can show
Yes, we can do that.
DOT or whoever it is and get the maps. Okay, great.
Do you want it in large format? Do you want it in?
Oh, it doesn't have to be that big.
Like that big?
Or do you want it on ledger paper?
Ledger paper would be, I think,
Okay.
fine.
Sure. How many copies would you like? One?
One.
Yeah, because that's a PDF, so I've got it electronic, so we can take that one there with the road map and print it off in
Okay,
ledger format.
great. Takes care of ancient roads. Town Hall fire door installation proposal. And here comes backup.
Good evening. There is nothing for fire doors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we want to even
I don't
talk
remember.
about this, or do we want to wait till Bob DeServo's here?
Maybe wait with Bob again. I mean, it seems like every time we get a proposal, we're spending a
higher.
whole lot more money. I mean, a whole lot more money.
Yeah.
And I know things are just gonna keep going up and up and up. So you hate to keep putting it off, but I just read this and it seems to be, you know, what we were looking for, but I don't know about the money part and how that's gonna come about, so.
There has been some difficulty in getting Bob to run this past the planning commission for their endorsement of it prior to bringing it to the select board, although you have a copy of it, because copy was sent addressed to the select board from the contractor. But it has yet to be officially proposed. And I'm not sure that they may not be working on details with the town hall renovations committee. Tiz and Bob and Mark Wesman, the architect. And so I don't know if this is I mean, they arrived a couple of weeks ago and Bob was going to get in, but he wanted the planning commission to endorse it prior to the select board taking it up. He wanted to follow the chain of.
We shouldn't be talking about it.
And
Well, in terms, yeah, and I'm sorry, in terms of numbers and accepting or not accepting, I think you do, I think, want to talk to him first to see where they are with it.
All right, and the planning commission next meets on the 13th of March, which is a Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay. Second Wednesday. Okay, yeah.
Okay, let's just back up so that we doesn't have to hear about fuel metering. We weren't sure whether you were coming, we just had a quick discussion. We did. And to sum it up, we are waiting for our attorney to get back to us. I will talk to him on Wednesday again. I did talk to him today. So we basically have nothing to say at this point.
All right, that's what I was wondering, when you would hear back from him. All right, so just let me know when you have anything.
We certainly will.
Get back. All right,
Okay?
sure, thank you.
You're welcome to stay, but
Well, I would, but. Thank you.
what a neat outfit. Okay, fuel metering.
Fuel metering, we're still awaiting parts. So,
This,
continue to hound them.
this, going to be able to get parts to repair this thing easier.
I believe the parts that they're waiting on are a fuel pump.
Oh,
Something came in the other day for Warren. I don't know if he's picked it up yet or not.
Okay.
Come in Friday.
It came in Friday. Large box?
That was the radio you picked up.
Oh, that was the
on
radio I
Saturday
picked up,
morning,
okay.
Friday night,
That
so
was,
it's just the fuel pump itself?
we're waiting on a fuel pump, but I'll have more information at next meeting.
A personnel policy?
In the personnel policy, I was able to, the second time I was able to get clarification from the Federal Wage and Overtime Division out of Burlington, Vermont. But I haven't had a chance to put that into a position where I'm ready to speak about it. But I will have that ready for the next meeting.
Okay. Timber cutting.
I just didn't know where we were at. And I haven't talked to really many people. Is anybody?
Well, Craig has called some people. I've talked to a couple of people. And I think there seems to be a little bit of interest in
There
this.
is some interest. I ran into two loggers and just heads up, I mean, just the board has decided to put out a request for proposals and there is a deadline of the 18th. If you're interested, please have a look at it. There's a map on the warnings are up and there's a map on Anita's counter, but everybody kind of knows where it is and what the property lines are. But because I ran into two, I felt compelled to call a third.
What
So I did, just as a heads up, this is what the board decided to do. Don't know if you're interested or not, just let you out or know.
How-
Kind of a courtesy call.
How are we're gonna receive the proposals, I guess. That's
There'll be a written proposal, I assume, well, it'll be a
like a
written
lump
proposal.
sum or,
Pardon?
like, that was one question they asked, the person I asked, is it a lump sum or softwood, hardwood price? I don't-
My guess is well, it's not specified in the notice. My guess is the board will decide at the bottom line that you don't care whether you're getting so much for firewood and so much for pulpwood and so much for hemlock, but that the bottom line is what you're looking at, and maybe who you think will do a good job as well, who's credentialed and all of that. But it wasn't specified in the request. There aren't details on the counter. You want it broken down in such and such a way.
Right,
There's any timeline.
I don't know if we should, that's,
Yeah, they know what they're doing. And I assume they do it all the time. I mean, that's what waters do.
I would
Go in and
assume,
assess a property and tell the owner. what
Yeah.
they have.
yeah, I think it's gonna be an estimate on board footage though, it's not, that's why I guess as long as they're all the same.
Yeah, the estimate on board footage, I think, would also include a mill price,
Estimate on-
tonnage price, or whatever, however they tally it.
Because I have had a couple people a little concerned about us cutting it too hard too.
It just
Which-
said heavy cut.
No, I know,
Yeah.
which I think we need to make clear to the whoever logs it.
Well, yeah, because,
We don't want to clear cut
well, that's
16
what,
acres of land.
that was the recommendation that I got from our tree warden and stuff, so now if you want to change it,
I think you look at the proposals, and if it indicates
Yeah,
clear
yeah.
cut, and you decide to go with somebody who's proposing that, then you tell them that you don't want clear cut, you want to leave some seed trees or a certain, all beech or something.
Oh, I think it needs to be cut hard, but I don't think it should be clear cut.
no, I don't either, I don't like clear cutting it myself, but,
Especially with all the road frontage, that
yeah.
it's going to be cut. Well, we'll see what we get.
okay, any new business? Or other business? In that case, I would like a 5-minute break before we go into executive session.
Well, we're going in executive session?
Yeah,
Are
we
you
are.
doing anything out of executive session?
No, this is the end, and this is to discuss personnel matters.
Do we need to be here early tomorrow morning for time?
Yeah, 6.
I'll meet you.
6 to turn the coffee on, Joe said. Joe will be here and have the coffee ready at 6.
8:30. You're already here. Much earlier.
No, I wasn't planning on it.
Lord, no. You'd be fine if you got here
Bring your
by
sleeping
4
bag.
o'clock.
Did I?
We'll lay you right up on you. Be ready.
Yeah, let's just those.
What I figured you do.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
No, I'm done.